I think that the kind of objective of this policy forum was to build on some of the previous work and policy forums that we've organized together with the Research Council of Norway. What is new now is that there is primarily two centers, the Afino and the ELN Center, that had the first opportunity to talk about research policy related issues in a context where we could try to find a way to learn and share experiences and challenges, and also ambivalences around how we conduct our centers and the activity that's organized from those centers. And I think it was a great learning experience, and we found new ways to collaborate in the future.
Yes, so I think that for this policy forum, what was important is that we got an opportunity to talk about the ambivalences and the difficulties that we meet in our research across the two centers. And we had quite honest discussions about that. And the way we, allowed ourselves to talk about failures and things that really don't work, or that we struggle with, or that we feel ambivalent about, and that it was framed as not a weakness, but a strength to be able to talk about these things. So I think that was kind of a nice achievement of this policy forum.
I think at least one of the more concrete outcomes that came out of the discussions in these 2 days was that we kind of had reached a consensus that we should co-organize, or at least join each other's conference, or organize a specific conference that addresses some relatively immediate policy issues and challenges that are part of the current political discourse around science and technology and research. And that probably can happen in the near future, within a year, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if...
What else can we talk about?
I have another point I can make. That's more general. So yeah. So I think that what I've at least kind of condensed into a kind of outcome will also be that we as centers were able to verbalize what it means to be an experiment. The Research Council of Norway has designed the call for proposals that these two centers are an answer to, in a way that we should also learn while we're doing the research that is then hosted by our centers. And I think that reaching or designing or developing a vocabulary for why and how we are experiments and learning arenas together with the RCN, I think has found new ways to conceptualize that. And we found new ways to see where we can collaborate further to develop that mutual and shared understanding together with the RCN.
And maybe on that note as well, that the fact that, the fact that we were able to share these points with the RCN themselves, like all the things that we struggled with, and that we could have an open discussion with them and get from them what they need from us as two centers, was really a unique opportunity.
Any final message for the people watching the film?
No, I suck at last words.
But I think one point, it might be like a little bit superficial, but as Maria said, it was great to like have a face to the people she talks a lot about with, like.
So it was nice, like, to meet and.
Can we maybe have a word about the conference itself in a physical space?
Yeah.
You want to say something about that?
No, you can.
You can.
Yeah. What do I say? Like, what was great as well was.
Imagine that people are looking at this film. And now you're talking to people looking at
it. Yeah, but do they care about, it was great for us that we met the others? Okay.
Think about something that I think that that you want to tell them.
Actually,
imagine they're taking their time to look at this film and they're interested in the film.
Yeah, but that I have to think a bit more.
Yeah, okay, I can have at least one thing. Maybe it may not be relevant. Okay, so one thing that we've learned, and I think is also important to take into consideration, is that doing transdisciplinary work on technoscience and also in innovation, collaborating with industry, is not only difficult and hard, but it requires a fundamentally different skill set. And I think there are very few places where we can develop that skill set using developing new language for that skill set. And policymakers and other actors in the research and innovation system needs to become aware that that kind of a language is also something they can use and utilize to be more precise in the way they develop policy tools.